Good Friday to you, and thank you so much for spending a little of it with us. Not a hard call to make tonight, a cold, dreary, wet into the work week for most everyone. But nonetheless, it is Friday, and that's always good news. Glad to have you with us tonight, and we'll talk about those showers ending as we have expected all week long leading into your Mother's Day weekend. A few updates to the forecast for the weekend, and I'll share those with you in just a few moments. Relatively a quiet local news day today does not mean, of course, that we don't have a great deal to cover. There was a two-car crash on Parkway Drive earlier this afternoon, right around 4 o'clock or so. I went to the scene and only saw minor damage on one of the vehicles, and I couldn't find any damage on the other. And from that second vehicle, I did, however, see one person being taken by ambulance to the hospital, but no life-threatening injuries, we do believe, at this hour, certainly. Headlines tonight. There are several. I'll leave you with something from last night's vigil in honor of Matty Allen. Before that, though, we'll talk about baseball scores, the end of the season, which is drawing near for all area teams, some sooner than others. District pairings. We'll talk about who's seated where and how the girls and boys, softball and baseball, and where they'll be playing and who in the district tournament, looking towards the rest of the season and the first of the postseason. And a couple of other stories, including the cookie story, that if it hasn't already, I suspect will be nationwide very, very soon. We'll go ahead and begin with one good report, because after that I don't necessarily have that many in our top headlines, sad to say, tonight. But it's good news for Floyd County. A regular monthly meeting of the Prestonsburg Tourism Commission discussed the amount of money spent in Floyd County last year. Last year alone, tourism brought in nearly $80 million for Floyd County. Ladies and gentlemen, that is astounding and significant. Not so astounding when you take in all of the work that they have put forth toward that, but nonetheless, $78 million is a great deal of tourism funds for any eastern Kentucky county. Imagine what McGoffin County could do with just a fraction of that. The study was performed by a research team out of Lexington and done for the Kentucky Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet, but $78 million estimated in total economic impact or influx into the Floyd County government, Floyd County economy, mind you, not just local government, but of course the businesses and folks throughout there who are all working very hard to perpetuate that and grow those numbers even more. Congratulations to Floyd County. A jury has convicted a former deputy jailer in eastern Kentucky for his role in a violent assault of a pretrial detainee in for a DUI charge and willfully failing to provide necessary medical attention that led to his death. Last night, 60-year-old William Curtis Howell was convicted after 90 minutes of deliberation by the jury, convicted of using excessive force against the detainee resulting in bodily injury and of deliberately ignoring his serious medical needs resulting in his death. According to the evidence that was presented during the 4-day trial back in July 2013 at the Kentucky River Regional Jail in Hazard, Howell and another supervisory deputy jailer identified as Damon Wayne Hickman violently beat 54-year-old Larry Trent. He was a pretrial detainee. They left him in his cell, seriously injured, bleeding from an open head wound. Trent ultimately died from injuries sustained during the beating. He was in jail on a DUI charge. Supervisory Deputy Jailer Hickman, who was initially charged alongside the defendant Howell, pleaded guilty prior to this week's trial and testified against Howell during. According to the evidence, the assault started when Howell and Hickman opened the door to Trent's cell to remove his sleeping mat, and Trent ran out of the cell. Howell then tased Trent, and after Trent was brought to the floor, Hickman, without justification, says the case, violently kicked Trent in the ribs. While deputies carried Trent back to his cell, he took the taser from one of the deputy jailers, and witnesses testified that after deputies got that taser back from Trent, and while he had been restrained on the floor, Howell and Hickman both, without any justification, punched, kicked, stomped on Trent, and then after he lay there motionless on the way out, the accused then kicked him in the head once again, and then it was 4 hours later that another employee of the jail noticed his motionless body and called for help. He died or was pronounced dead at an area hospital just a short time later. According to the autopsy results presented during the trial, Trent died of a fracture to his pelvis that caused hemorrhaging and from blunt force trauma to his head, to his torso, and to his extremities. The Kentucky River Regional Jail houses pretrial detainees from Knott and Perry counties. A Martin County man to no surprise, as there was a plea agreement that spared his life as prosecutors were seeking the death penalty. Nevertheless, he will spend the rest of his life behind bars for the 3 lives that he took. He's Jack Smith in a long-standing case that goes back 3 years, killing 3 people in Martin County. Jack Smith received 3 life sentences without the possibility of parole after he pled guilty just a month ago to shooting and stabbing Tina Goebel's 8-year-old granddaughter Trinity Maynard, and Goebel's boyfriend, all of which were found inside Goebel's residence, which had been burned to the ground back in August of 2014. Now, there was also an accomplice who, as I reported to you just weeks ago, did not take a plea deal but stood trial in the matter, Amanda Bowen, who was convicted of 3 counts of murder in the case just last month. Her sentencing has been set for May the 19th. Deadline has certainly shocked the Girl Scout troop, and I would imagine it has rippled out and done so to everyone who has come across a story of, from last estimate, the number has grown throughout the day, but we believe accurately to say more than $26,000 worth of Girl Scout cookies taken by a woman from Oxford who has since been indicted for her crimes. A theft is a theft. A thief, for that matter, is a thief. But stealing from the Girl Scouts certainly sounds and feels worse, doesn't it? Pike County Commonwealth's Attorney Rick Bartley has confirmed that 26-year-old Leanne Vick of North River Road in Oxshire, who we believe was a troop leader for the Wilderness Road Chapter 769 of the Girl Scouts, is the one who stole cookies to an estimated value right now of over $25,000, and since has been indicted on a felony charge of theft by unlawful taking over $10,000, but less than $1 million for that matter, by Pike County grand jury yesterday. The alleged crime reportedly taking place this year between February and the month of March. Still details kind of coming out early in the case, but from what we can find out thus far, she's accused of stealing the cookies from the distribution center using fake names, reporting that or giving or submitting a list of girls' names who were selling cookies, but those girls weren't actually selling them, keeping the cookies for themselves. There's been no word of what she did with the cookies, but we can only assume they were kept for sale for her profit. Nevertheless, it's also being investigated that she had lied about actually being a troop leader in Ashland, Kentucky, or in that area, and maybe facing charges from there as well. If you do the math, $26,000 worth of cookies at an average of $4 a box. I've bought a few boxes in my time. That's over 65, or at least 6,500 boxes of Girl Scout cookies stolen. I'll be right back. More headlines in just a second. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. With something else for the end of the program right now, we'll go ahead and turn to baseball and softball scores and schedules. The weather has had a lot to say about the end of the regular season. It's not over for everyone as of yet, but the district pairings have been set. Seeds have been set. Johnson Central, the number 1 seed for boys baseball in the 57th district. Magoffin County, the 2nd seed. Paintsville, the 3rd. Sheldon Clark, the 4th. Pick it up with their Magoffin County Hornets, who still have 2 games now left on their regular season schedule, both road games after a loss a week ago tomorrow to Perry County Central. Hornets will have had 13 days off before they get back on the field next time. District matchups are done. All the district games are over and done with for the 57th. The Hornets have 2 games left before the district starts, both road games at Powell and at Pressburg. No more home games for the boys this season. The district tournament starts for them on Tuesday the 23rd, a week from this coming Tuesday, and the Hornets are in Game 2 of the night versus Paintsville at 7:30. Magoffin County and Paintsville had 2 back-to-back games in the regular season April the 19th and 20th. They split those games, as you recall, both winning at home. The boys right now from McGoffin County at 12-5, 4-2 in the district at Powell County next Friday. That's right, they're off until next Friday at 6 o'clock. The girls' bracket for the 57th District is also set. Coach Tony Skaggs confirmed to me today that it was just a blind draw for seedings. Nevertheless, the Lady Hornets last played on April the 27th against Breathitt County. That was a 10-run win in 6 innings. They're next in action at Elliott County this coming Monday night. The girls have got 3 games left on the regular season schedule. They're at Elliott Monday, like I said. They're hosting Perry County on Thursday, Knott County next Saturday at 11, and Pike Central at 1:30 that same Saturday. So they've got 3 home games left on their schedule. We'll be catching some, if not all of those. The districts for the girls start on Monday the 22nd. The Lady Hornets are taking on Sheldon Clark in Game 2 that night at 7. The district tournament for the girls and boys this year is at Johnson Central. Now, for the Lady Hornets and Sheldon Clark, who will make up that first game, they've only faced off one time in the regular season. That was April the 11th. That was at Sheldon Clark, where McGoffin County won by 1 run, 8-7. The girls from McGoffin, 8-9 on the season thus far, split in the district at 1-1. The Eagles of Johnson County, Johnson Central, mind you, and Coach Sean Hall, 22-6. They're at the top of 15th region standings, 5-1 in the 57th district. Their last game was on Monday of this week, an 11-0 romp over Morgan County in 5 innings. They are set to be playing in the Fayette County Invitational tomorrow, set to take on Rockcastle County and Campbell County tomorrow. There are 6 games left right now in the regular season schedule for the Golden Eagles. They've got home games. They've got a home game Monday hosting Pikeville, and a home game next Friday hosting Scott County. Now, the Johnson Central Golden Eagles are taking on Sheldon Clark in the 57th District in Game 1 on Tuesday the 23rd at 5:30. Johnson Central went 15-1 score-wise and 12-1 over Sheldon Clark in the regular season and the favorite in the first round of the 57th District Tournament. The Lady Eagles last played this Wednesday, a 23-0 romp over Jenkins in 3 innings. That was a barn burner there. The Lady Eagles set to be playing road games tomorrow, a doubleheader against Harrison County at 11 and 12:30 tomorrow. They've got 6 games left in their regular season. They've only got 2 home games, Russell this Monday and then Shelby Valley next Tuesday. The Lady Eagles take on the Lady Tigers of Paintsville in Game 1 of the district tournament on Monday the 22nd at 5 o'clock. They have not played this year. The Lady Eagles and Lady Tigers have not played in the regular season. Now, I can tell you that the Lady Eagles are at 9-6, while the Lady Tigers are second right now in 15th Region Girls softball standings at 22-9. For the Paintsville Tigers, a loss on last night, as a matter of fact, at Ashland Blazer, 15-16, puts the boys from Paintsville at 11-13 on the season. They're even in the district at 3-3. They've got a weekend game tomorrow at Lawrence County in the Lawrence County Spring Classic. Depending on how the Classic goes tomorrow, the Tigers have got 6 or 7 games in their regular season. They've got 1 home game on Thursday of next week versus Letcher Central, and they, as I said, take on McGoffin County in Game 2 of the 57th District on Tuesday night, that Tuesday the 23rd. And as I said already, they split the regular season with the Hornets. For the Lady Tigers, a 6-5 win over Perry County on Tuesday of this week. That was their 5th win in a row. And once again, they are, as I said, second in 15th region standings. They've got 5 games in the regular season schedule, 2 home games this coming Monday versus Pike Central and next Saturday hosting Letcher. And once again, they take on Central in Game 1, as I said, of the 57th District Tournament on Monday the 22nd. And completing our update on viewing area teams, the Lawrence County Bulldogs, with a 60th district is not set yet, still a few games to go. Bulldogs have got 6 games left in their regular season schedule. Home games tomorrow in Lawrence County for the Spring Classic. Tuesday versus Boyd County, a home game. Friday hosting Ashland Blazer. Right now, the Lawrence County Bulldogs at 19-6. on the season, a perfect record in the district. Once again, taking on Paintsville tomorrow in the Lawrence County Spring Classic. Right now, Lawrence County sitting, it looks as though fourth in 15th region baseball. My apologies. For fast pitch softball for the girls from Lawrence County, a 16-0 run over the team from Phelps. That was Monday night of this week. 14-10 on the season for the Lady Bulldogs. They've got 4 games left on their schedule. 3 of them are home games starting next Monday. The Cougars got shut out by Central. Johnson Central, as I already covered, when Central's games or schedule 11-0. Morgan County's boys at 8-14. They're at Jackson City Monday at 6. They're winless in their district, and the 62nd District 2 has not been set. And lastly, the Lady Cougars from Morgan County, 8-15 for the season, 2-4 in their district, hosting Hazard tomorrow at noon. They've got 4 games left. 2 of them are home games as they await to see how the district will shape up for them in the 62nd as well. I'll be right back. Don't know that I need to remind you, because if you're not making plans for it by now, you're going to be pressed to get there and get blasted off. But the 5th annual bass tournament hosted by the Elk Creek Free Will Baptist Church is in the morning. The blast off at 7 o'clock from the Alfrey boat ramp. Big cash prizes, $1,000 for the top prize, the big fish every hour, prize of $100, and so much more. The KBIF Pointed Horse Show. That's tomorrow evening here, sponsored by the Sayersville Fire Department. This is a pointed horse show. Beautiful animals, equestrians from all over Kentucky competing for wins, points. They will rack up towards the end of the season. 37 classes, just $5. Some great food tomorrow evening and a great setting at the Equestrian Park down on 460, and just a great weather day as well for it. And for students looking to get ahead, elevate your basketball game, fundamentals, court vision also being used and utilized by former girls basketball coach Scott Castle and Jamie Castle of the U Pike Lady Bears. Sundays for an hour. Grades K through 4 at 2:30, 5th through 11th graders at 3:30, just $5 per hour. The Hunter Education Range Day is 1 week from tomorrow. This is for those of you who have already completed the course and need the Range Day, Saturday the 20th. You have to pre-register, is why I'm telling you so much now. And to do so, call 349-2018 or 349-7130. I've also got another important event happening tomorrow, and I'll get to that in just a few seconds. Right now, though, just a quick reminder, this is how you get announcements on the program. And from here, we'll turn to tonight's obituary listings. While I'll close out the show with a brief moment or two from last night's vigil in her honor, a reminder about services to be held tomorrow at 1 for Maddie Allen, Madison Nicole Allen, who passed away on Sunday, the daughter of Samantha Allen Trout and her husband Todd, and the daughter of Neil Adams. She's also survived by brother Tyler Allen and sisters Carly and Kayla Adams. Visitation for the rest of this evening, while services tomorrow will be from the Magoffin County High School Gymnasium. Jerry Lee LeMaster will be honored with services tomorrow. 65 of Lexington, formerly of Salyersville. LeMaster was the son of the late Clifford and Ernestine Salyer LeMaster. He's survived by brothers Denny, Billy Edward, and Ricky Lane LeMaster, and sisters Lynette LeMaster and Patricia Ann Honaker. Visitation will start at 11 tomorrow, and services will start 2 hours later at 1 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. And lastly tonight, Thomas Leslie Van Hoos, 52 of Nippa, passed away yesterday, the son of the late Thomas Van Hoos and Helen Blevins. He was married to Pamela Salyer Young Van Hoos, who survives, and he's survived by his sons, Thomas James and Patrick Leslie. Visitation will be after 6 tomorrow, continue all day Sunday, and up until services that start Monday at 1, all from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Never the note we want to begin or end a program on, but it is sadly one that will close tonight's show. I and Angie are among the 200 or so parents who, for the last few weeks and few months, have been busy and excited helping our Magoffin County high school senior plan and get ready for senior trip and for graduation, for college or life after high school. What is supposed to be one of the best times in the life of a teenager, certainly. But since last Sunday night, we, and those same parents have tried to comprehend how the parents of beautiful Madison Nicole Allen are living through the unthinkable. Last night, Maddie's senior class and family and friends all paid tribute to her and honored her with a candlelight vigil outside the Sagersville Funeral Home. In my heart, I chose to be a part of the vigil as a friend of mine and his family looked on as the crowd remembered his and their daughter rather than make the evening a news story. I do, however, want to share this with you tonight in closing. The crowd engaging in amazing grace as they honored the grace and beauty and intelligence, humor, and heart of Madison Nicole Allen.